All right, let's talk about the Southwest. Southwest is a very easy region. As we move west, except for the Rocky Mountains, it's going to be easier to memorize these states and cities. It's broken down to four states. We've got Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and Arizona. So Texas is the big one, can't miss it. Oklahoma is right above it, looks like a pan. And then Arizona has this angled bottom here, whereas New Mexico has the notch. With the two cities that we're going to be looking at here are San Antonio and Santa Fe. San Antonio is famous for, if you remember the Alamo, when Texas was fighting for its independence against Mexico. The Alamo was a mission that was built um, by the Spanish, and the Mexicans came in and killed everybody. And so that was a rallying cry for the Texans. And Santa Fe was very important because it was at the head of the Santa Fe Trail, which allowed people to go from Santa Fe all the way down to Mexico, and so it was a very important trade route. Um, let's make sure that we get our vocabulary words into our vocabulary page. We've got plateau, large area of elevated flatland. So we could see right here if you've got a flat, basically a mountain with its top cut off, that is a plateau. We went over that last year. Now, there are very similar structures here in the Southwest. We have a mesa, a hill with a flat top. Mesas are smaller than plateaus. So, um, exactly how much is smaller? I suppose if you can see it, you could take a picture of the whole thing, even though it's not all here. That would be a mesa, and a plateau just goes on for a very long time. It's hard to see end to end of a plateau. And then a butte is a small flat top hill that is smaller than a mesa or a plateau. These Now this is very large. You've got these very strange formations, but you can, I don't know exactly what the measurements are to distinguish between the two, but if it's something that you could probably walk around within a day, you're talking about a butte, or at least drive around in just a few minutes or an hour or so. Canyon, a deep, narrow valley with steep sides, often with a stream or river running through it. The famous canyon that we'll be talking about here is the Grand Canyon, where the Colorado River carves out this canyon in our southwest and made these walls very high. And it's quite a sight. I haven't been there, but I hear it is amazing. And then, of course, desert, extremely dry environment, but some plants and animals have adapted to it. So when we're looking at these areas like Arizona, New Mexico, you're going to see a lot of desert areas. Again, in Texas and Oklahoma, it's very similar, Great Plains um, area, but a lot of that rain that we'll be talking about from the Pacific states does not necessarily reach this area here. And that's why you do get a lot of deserts. Here's the Colorado River, and then the Grand Canyon was formed right over here. And those are the main characteristics of the Southwest. They're really defined by their geography, dry, strange formations um, that are caused by nature. A lot of people go down here to play in the desert, on their ATVs, mountain bikes, go hiking. Beautiful, beautiful area. Not a lot of people, so it is a great tourist destination. One more thing, if we remember that Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, this was all part of Mexico before the Mexican War, when we took over Texas and the rest of these areas here. So this region is heavily influenced by Mexican culture. A lot of Spanish-speaking people down here, and you'll notice that there's a lot of similarities with how people act, clothes, culture, as you will see in Mexico.